If the Hierophant represents tradition and inherited belief, the next stage of the tarot journey becomes deeply personal. The Lover's Tarot card is not simply about romance. It represents choice, polarity, integration, and the tension between instinct and consciousness. It is one of the most misunderstood archetypes in tarot symbolism. Where the Hierophant gives external structure, the Lovers introduces inner decision. Where tradition speaks, the individual must choose. This card marks the moment when a person becomes aware of duality, masculine and feminine, desire and morality, instinct and reason, and must consciously integrate these forces. In Jungian psychology, the Lovers correspond to the archetype of Anima and Animus, the inner feminine within the man and the inner masculine within the woman. These archetypes represent psychological balance. According to Carl Jung, individuation, the process of becoming whole, requires integration of these inner opposites. The Lovers symbolize this integration. Love in this context is not only emotional attachment. It is recognition. It is the moment when we see ourselves reflected in another person. Relationship becomes a mirror. Through love, we confront hidden parts of ourselves, both light and shadow. Yet this archetype also carries danger. Projection, illusion, emotional dependency, and temptation belong to its shadow side. Love can unite, but it can also blind. The Lovers represent both harmony and the risk of unconscious attachment. This symbolism appears in many mythological traditions. In Greek mythology, the Lovers resemble the story of Eros and Psyche. Eros represents desire, Psyche represents the soul. Their relationship symbolizes the meeting of instinct and consciousness. Psyche must undergo trials to achieve true union, showing that love requires growth and maturity. Plato's myth of the original androgynous beings also reflects this idea. Humans were once whole, but were divided into two halves. Since then, they search for their lost unity. The Lovers symbolize this longing for wholeness, not just romantic completion, but existential integration. In the biblical tradition, the Lovers strongly echo Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. The tree behind the woman resembles the tree of knowledge, and the serpent represents awareness and temptation. This moment marks the transition from innocence to moral responsibility. Love becomes connected with choice and consequence. The angel above the figure symbolizes higher awareness. Union must align with something beyond pure instinct. Love becomes a conscious act, not merely a reaction. In Christian mysticism, love often symbolizes the union of the soul with the divine. The Lovers represent sacred union, the merging of opposites in spiritual harmony. In Jewish mysticism, the idea of masculine and feminine aspects of the divine coming into balance mirrors the symbolism of this card. Harmony between polar forces sustains cosmic order. In Islamic and especially Sufi tradition, love represents the longing of the soul for union with God. The separation between lover and beloved becomes symbolic of the illusion of division. True love dissolves ego and restores unity. Buddhist philosophy does not emphasize romantic polarity in the same way, but it does teach balance between wisdom and compassion. Enlightenment arises when complementary forces unite. The Lovers represent this necessity of balance. Norse mythology also reflects this archetype. Freyja, goddess of love and fertility, embodies passion and independence. Norse cosmology itself is built on polarity: fire and ice, chaos and order. Existence emerges through tension between opposites. Thus, the Lovers symbolize a universal principle. Life arises from polarity. From Joseph Campbell's hero's journey perspective, this card corresponds to the stage of meeting with the goddess, the encounter with relational meaning. But it is also the moment of choice. The hero must decide which path to follow. Love demands responsibility. The visual symbolism of the Lover's Tarot card reinforces these ideas. A man and woman stand naked beneath an angel, representing vulnerability and truth. The serpent in the tree symbolizes knowledge and temptation. The mountain in the background suggests challenges. The angel represents transcendent guidance. Unlike previous cards that focus on structure or authority, the Lovers center on relationship and freedom. This card marks a turning point. Up to this stage, the journey has built potential, Fool, Will, Magician, Inner Wisdom, High Priestess, Life, Empress, Order, Emperor, and Tradition, Hierophant. Now the individual must choose consciously. The Lovers represent freedom, but freedom always involves responsibility. Psychologically, this stage reflects emotional maturity. It asks whether a person acts from unconscious desire or conscious awareness. It asks whether love is projection or integration,